the position of predisposed Muslims and patients of gastric ulcer in Islam with respect to fasting during the whole month of Ramadan.
Could anybody help me understand? Because you see this, through this artificial means, the voice is slightly distorted. I can't fully understand sometimes, particularly when the pronunciation is a bit different from the pronunciation to which we are accustomed. Would you help?
He's saying that about the ulcers.
Is that right?
And Ramadan, the relationship, it's a medical thing.
Ulcers?
Yeah.
Something in the stomach.
Yes, that's right.
Ulcer, gastric ulcer.
Gastric.
But gastric
that's
ulcer is just
And then
one
Ramadan, how it
form of
Nobody is permitted to keep fast by the Holy Quran if he is ill. That is the answer.
No.
The Holy Quran does not permit an ill person to keep fasts.
Excuse me, that's not really the main question there, because that I know already. But I'm talking about predisposed Muslims, because the predisposed Muslims are not diagnosed. So they are never known in the population, but they keep
I
fast
don't
for a month.
understand this terminology of predisposed Muslims. Has anybody understood?
Predisposed
To ulcer, yes.
Yes, the people who medically are predisposed to ulcer.
I am
To
sorry,
gastric
prone to
ulcer.
get ulcers.
Exactly so.
Is that what you mean? Yes.
Yes. Sorry, please, for misunderstanding.
You see, everyone is prone to have something. And the various people belonging to different races and countries and climates have their predisposition, that inclination to fall ill, and not in general terms, but particularly fall in one direction. For instance, in the Gambia, the pernicious anemia is very common, because the resistance to malaria, which was essential for their survival, can only be achieved at the cost of this weakness. If you are predisposed to pernicious anemia, then you cannot suffer from malaria. So they are saved from one more dangerous option to a less dangerous option, and they live normal life with that pernicious anemia. But with malaria, the severe malaria which you find there, they cannot survive long. So it is God's ways. When somebody is so-called predisposed to certain things, it is not always bad. It is sometimes a preventive measure against some other dispensations or inclinations. For instance, the second head of the Ahmadiyya community, Hazrat Hakim Nuruddin, was a great physician of Indian fame. He was a gifted physician. Once a case of tuberculosis came to him, which had been declared incurable by the best physicians of India at that time. He artificially created an ulcer on his shin. And from then on, the ulcer drew all the attention of his economy. And as if the bacillus of tuberculosis remained dormant from then on. So sometimes a bad thing, apparently bad thing, is instrumental in your being saved from the worst thing which could have happened to you. Now, why this should happen at all? Because it is human beings whose whose lack of proper conduct in their diet, in their habits of life, etc., invites many diseases. So there is a counter system running along with it to save them from the direct consequences of their own misconduct or misbehavior or negligence, and we see only the suffering part and we don't know what it has saved you from. So if this is the philosophy you wanted to understand,
Yeah,
then it is only a short answer to that. But if I misunderstood your question, you'll have to repeat it more clearly, please.
Yeah, I really wanted to admit that fasting in the month of Ramadan affects the health. You see.
Affects the health
Yes.
adversely,
Yes,
or
in as much
in a
as
good way.
in a bad way, in as much as
All right. To counter you, I quote the example of a research carried out by Israeli scientists recently. No, they are no friends of Muslims and Islam, are they?
no,
Do you think they are?
they are not. I said.
Now, a research was carried out to find out the effects of fasting among Muslims, obviously with the intention that they will find out the damages done to the health, and then they'll highlight them and tell the whole world, look at this religion, the type of fasting it promotes is detrimental to human health. And the published report says they were surprised, they were astounded to discover that fasting left healthier people behind it than comparatively ill and sickly people. So go after this scientific evidence. The evidence of a people who would not distort facts for the sake of Islam. See, on the whole, it is fasting which takes care of many excesses of the rich people particularly, and the have-alls who benefit so much from fasting. Because if they had not gone through the mill of fasting, they would not realize the suffering of those who have nothing. The suffering of the ill, the suffering of the hungry, and also their excesses against themselves by eating too much fat and things is rectified during the course of fasting. So they emerge lighter in body and stronger in soul. What is wrong about that? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Fine?
Thank you very much. I'm aware.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Hazur, the next questioner is Mr. John Dawson from Dunstable.
I have to correct my statement. Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal, that is the first caliph after Hazrat Masih Maud Islam, was second in spiritual leadership because he came after Hazrat Masih Maud Islam. So that hovered in my mind when I said the second head of the Ahmadiyya community. When we refer to the term head, we mean Khalifa. We will not include the founder. So he was the first head of the Ahmadiyya community after the demise of the founder. Thank you very much for reminding me. Please.
Thank you. Greetings and thank you for your hospitality today. A simple question: what are the views of Islam on the subject of euthanasia?
Yes.
I say a simple question.
That's right.
I appreciate that there are degrees such as self-inflicted voluntary euthanasia with assistance by others, and euthanasia decided and effected by others, and the withdrawal of ordinary means to sustain life and the withdrawal of exceptional means to sustain life.
You see, the issue of euthanasia is a principal issue of who possesses the rights of life. Who is the master of life here on earth? Man is not the master of his own life according to all religious philosophies. He is only a trustee of life. And as such, no religion promotes suicide. Apart from those so-called religions which are philosophies but godless philosophies.